Chapter 60. Corpse-catching Sect. Dark clouds rolled in the sky as lightning flashed and thunder roared. At this moment, Wang Tixiong was still undergoing the tribulation, and a terrifying thunderbolt blasted down, causing the mountain range where he was located to be completely bombarded and sunk several feet deep. The crowd was horrified. The thunder tribulation at the Jidan stage was really powerful. In their place, they would have been split into dust. Some of the strongest people at the 9th level of Foundation establishments were even more chilled, and they realized that even if they were lucky enough to break through to the Jidan stage, they might not be able to block this terrifying test of the heavenly tribulation. However, the good thing was that with Wang Tixiong's heavenly tribulation, this time as a reference, they definitely wouldn't panic when they crossed the tribulation in the future, or at least they would have the experience. On a mountainside, Kang Qian looked somewhat doubtfully at his maternal grandfather, who was transiting the heavenly tribulation in the distance. I didn't realize that the heavenly tribulation at the Jidan stage was so weak. I wonder what will happen to my heavenly tribulation in the future. Kang Qian thought in his heart. Emperor Dan had once told him that everyone's talent was different, and the power of the heavenly tribulation they encountered was also different. The power of the heavenly tribulation of some supreme geniuses was very great, and was far from being comparable to that of an ordinary person. The heavenly tribulation that his grandfather was experiencing right now could be said to be the least powerful one. With the energy of the earth yin fruit supplementing it, coupled with the fact that his grandfather already had a solid foundation, he should have no problem passing through this tribulation. Kang Qian still had absolute certainty in his heart about passing such a heavenly tribulation. He felt that he could withstand this level of tribulation lightning with just the strength of his physical body. Kid, it is said that geniuses who are able to form the 9 revolutions Golden Dan will have 900 D and 91 heavenly thunderbolts when they cross the tribulation. Each one is much more powerful than the previous one. You kid mustn't be careless. It's not unheard of for geniuses in the cultivation realm to die in the heavenly tribulation, Emperor Dan reminded. 81 heavenly thunders. Kang Qian sucked in a mouthful of cool air when he heard this. In his heart, he no longer dared to underestimate the heavenly tribulation. He possessed such a gifted bloodline as the Kang Qian hegemony bloodline. And if he were to form the 9 revolutions Jindan again, the power of the heavenly tribulation in the future would be unimaginable. Boom! Just as Kang Qian was thinking, Wang Tixiong in the distance finally ushered in the last heavenly thunder. After passing through this heavenly thunder, he would be a true Jidan stage powerhouse. Kang Qian instantly looked nervously, and those people watching from afar also stopped talking and nervously watched this exciting moment. Under the rolling heavenly tribulation, Wang Tixiong stood proudly. Even though his face was pale at the moment and a trace of blood spilled out from the corner of his mouth, his battle spirit did not diminish, but instead became even stronger. Come on. Old me has been waiting for this day for a long time. The battle intent in Wang Tixiong's eyes was boundless as he mustered up the little true essence he had left to prepare for the strongest strike that was about to erupt. In the sky, the robber clouds were also brewing, seemingly wanting to exterminate this mole below in the final blow. The two sides were frozen like this for half a moment, and finally, with a shocking thunderclap, an unrivaled beam of thunder and lightning finally blasted out from the rolling robbery's clouds, and it fell down in a vast and mighty manner. For a moment, the place where Wang Tixiong was engulfed by boundless thunder and lightning, and the sky was bright with deafening sounds. At this moment, the blazing light blinded everyone, including Kang Qian, who couldn't help but close his eyes. It was only after the light dissipated that Kang Qian opened his eyes. Ha ha ha! Without waiting for everyone to just open their eyes, a figure rose up from the rubble, and with it came a burst of unrestrained laughter. The sky instantly revealed a smile at the sound, and the crowd in the distance was also thrilled. The dark sky was also revealed to be bright as the dark robbery clouds dispersed. The sun that hung high in the sky also resurfaced with countless rays of light, bathing the entire back of the royal mansion in a sea of gold. Immediately after that, a single chute began to spread out towards the surroundings, with the place where the original heavenly lightning struck as the center, and the entire back mountain quickly became vibrant. The after effects of that fire were completely eliminated, and it was thought that in a few years, this place would be restored to its original state. Legend has it that the heavenly tribulation represents not only destruction, but also life. It seems to be true. Kang Chon watched a shoot grow under his feet and said in amazement, "The heavenly tribulation was a test of the heavenly Tao for cultivators, and it did not destroy the environment. On the contrary, after the heavenly tribulation dispersed, it would drop a thick life force, causing the place that was originally struck by the heavenly tribulation to sprout vibrant life." "Chona, where is that guy Lin Beishan?" As Kang Chon sighed at the marvelousness of the heavenly tribulation, Wang Tixiong flew and landed in front of him, saying with a smile on his face. Kang Chon looked at his maternal grandfather and noticed that the white hair on his head was much less, and his entire person seemed to have instantly become dozens of years younger, turning from his original old age to middle age. He knew that this was because Grandpa had entered the Jiden stage, and his original lifespan had increased a lot, which was why he appeared even younger. Let's go to the Lin family first and see if there are any fallen fish." Wang Tixiong swept a glance at the unconscious Lin Beishan and said to Kang Chon. The two of them decided to stay at the Lin family first after some deliberation, as the Wang mansion had already become a ruin and was not suitable for living. On the contrary, the Lin family was far better than the king's mansion, and now that the Lin family had been exterminated, it was naturally theirs. The crowd watching from afar also slowly dispersed when they saw this. Today they didn't come here for nothing. Not only did they watch a battle of peak powerhouses, but they also witnessed Wang Tixiong's successful tribulation, so it could be said that they gained a lot. With the departure of these people, in just half a day's time, the news of Kang Chon defeating Lin Beishan and Wang Tixiong's successful tribulation spread throughout the entire Heavy Iron City. This naturally caused a buzz, knowing that now that Wang Tixiong had been promoted to the Jiden stage. Kang Chon had defeated a Jiden stage expert, even though he wasn't at the Jiden stage, so it could be said that it was two Jidens in one family, which was a great honor. As a result, Kang Chon and Wang Tixiong, who had just lived in the Lin family for a short period of time, welcomed countless visiting guests, all of whom were large and small cultivation clans in Heavy Iron City, as well as a number of scattered cultivators, bringing together almost all the representatives of the forces in Heavy Iron City. Kang Chon was too lazy to pay any attention to these boring entertainments. They were all greeted by Wang Tixiong. Anyway, his grandfather used to be the head of the Wang family, so the entertainments were easy to handle. With the demise of the Lin family, the long-time noisy Heavy Iron City finally fell into a calm atmosphere once again. Kang Chon's defeat of Lin Beishan could be described as a battle that made him famous, and no one in Heavy Iron City knew about it. He had now become the object of worship for many young cultivators in Heavy Iron City, and his popularity was even greater than that of the city lord. After Wang Tixiong and Kang Chon returned to the Lin family, there were many celebrities in Heavy Iron City who came to visit them, and some clans that wanted to befriend them were even more incessant, causing the entire Lin family to become noisy all of a sudden. However, the people of the Lin family had all died, and the people of the Wang family were also killed by Lin Beishan. Wang Tixiong and Kang Chon couldn't find underlings to entertain the crowd for a while, so Wang Tixiong set up a theater performance to entertain the crowd in the city's restaurants. Kang Chon was not interested in these entertainments, plus he was anxious about Anti-King and the Grand Elder's corpses, so he stayed at the Lin family alone to interrogate Lin Beishan. When Lin Beishan had killed the Wong clan, he did not know where he had hidden their corpses, causing Kang Chon to search the entire Lin clan without being able to find a single corpse. This had to be said to be a doubt. Kang Chon wouldn't think that Lin Beishan had been kind enough to give Anti-King and the others a generous burial. Elder Dan still can't find them. In the middle of the Lin family's great hall, Kang Chon looked down at Lin Beishan, who was still in a coma, with a glance, then asked in his heart. He had just asked Dan Emperor's divine mind to search the entire Lin family's mansion for anti-kings and their corpses. Kang Chon was very anxious in his heart. He didn't want Ant-King, the Grand Elder, and their corpses to be left in the wilderness. Strange, kid. There isn't a single corpse in the Lin family. It shouldn't be here. You'd better wake this guy up and ask. After a long time, Emperor Dan's voice came out. Kang Chon frowned, then walked over to Lin Beishan's body, transported his true essence, and clicked several times on his body, using his true essence to wake up his consciousness. With a painful murmur, Lin Beishan gradually woke up and opened his somewhat confused eyes. It's you. Lin Beishan just opened his eyes to see Kang Chon in front of him. His eyes suddenly red, wanting to transport his true essence to strike. But he felt a sharp pain in his dantian, and he couldn't lift half of his true essence, and he screamed in pain. Lin Beishan, did you anticipate today's end? Kang Chon said indifferently, with his hands behind his back, looking at Lin Beishan in pain. His heart was very happy. This is what it feels like to have a great revenge. Avenged, the thoughts are completely clear, the mood is soothing. Lin Beishan struggled in pain, sniffing with rage, but unfortunately, his inner Dan was sealed by Kang Chon. He couldn't lift half of his true essence, just like a mortal. This feeling of helplessness made Lin Beishan despair in his heart. What have you done to my Lin family? Lin Beishan struggled for a while and finally gave up as he gritted his teeth and said angrily, Lin family. Kang Chon smiled disdainfully at his words and said in a cold voice, now you're the only one left in the entire Lin family. Of course. It won't be long before I send you down to meet them. Lin Beishan's eyes widened angrily at these words, his eyes glaring, his face full of misery. Although he had already had a guess in his heart, knowing that Kang Chon and Wong Tixong wouldn't lightly spare their Lin family. But when he knew the real outcome, he couldn't help but feel a pang of despair. Ha. I didn't expect you Lin Beishan to have this look of despair. Now you know what retribution is. Kang Chon laughed even louder at the sight. Success is the king and defeat is the enemy. I, Lin Beishan, ended up like this because I'm not as strong as others. What do you want? I'm afraid you didn't kill me just to insult me. Lin Beishan glared angrily and said through gritted teeth, good. Count on you having a little bit of courage. As long as you tell me where the corpses of those you killed in the Wong clan are, I'll give you a pain in the arse. Otherwise, I'll make you beg for your life and die. Kang Chon said grimly. Ha. So that's how it is. Lin Beishan laughed out loud at his words, only that his movements were too violent and involved his injuries, instantly causing him to let out a groan of pain. Kang Chon's face sank as he said, don't think that you can threaten me today. Whether you say it or not, you are bound to die. Obviously, he thought that Lin Beishan wanted to threaten him with this and stay alive. Don't worry, I will tell you where they are in their entirety. A hint of cunning flashed in Lin Beishan's eyes. Kang Chon couldn't help but frown. Lin Beishan's promise was too quick to avoid deceit. However, he was now so bold in his art that he wasn't afraid that Lin Beishan would dare to play any tricks. Say it. If I'm satisfied, I can give you a pain in the arse and leave you with a full body. Kang Chon said in a cold voice. Then wouldn't old me have to thank you? Ha. Lin Beishan laughed slightly self-deprecatingly, then a morose smile appeared in his eyes. The corpses of those Wong clan members were given to the corpse-catching sect by me. If you're not afraid of death, go to the corpse-catching sect to find them yourself. Corpse-catching sect. Kang Chon sniffed with a hint of doubt in his eyes. What kind of place was this? He hadn't heard of it at all. Looking at Lin Baishan's appearance, it seemed like it was very dangerous there, and at that moment he asked Emperor Dan in his mind, "Corpse catching sect? This small place actually involves the corpse catching sect. How strange." Emperor Dan's somewhat puzzled voice came out. "What's wrong? Is there anything marvelous about this corpse catching faction?" Kang Chon couldn't help but ask. The corpse catching sect is a cultivation sect with a long history. They cultivate evil arts that drive corpses and control corpses. It is a cultivation sect that wanders on the edge of evil. A long time ago, the corpse catching sect was the most powerful sect in the cultivation world, only that it was later exterminated by a joint effort between the righteous and the evil in the cultivation world. But I never thought that it would resurface now, Emperor Dan said with some gravity as he reminded Kang Chon to be careful of this sect.